excursion today, going to explore the volcano, so I'm glad you can all come along for the journey. Let's see what mischief we can get up to today. I'm working on that, but work, health, life balance. Take care, guys. We'll speak to you later. I'm just waiting for Helen to get back from the room, and then we'll just go and wait for the coach to pick us up, and off we can go exploring. So you can't beat it, though. We've got that sort of view to look out on. A little bit murky this morning out there, but that cloud always, I don't know if you know, Lanzarote always moves really quickly. Like 1 minute there's a cloud cover and you're feeling cool. But yes, I did get slightly burnt yesterday, which is always expected when I come away wholly for no reason. So follow along and see what else we can get up to. Hope you enjoy.
So today we are going up Timanfaya, the volcano. Just waiting for our coach to arrive now.
She's just got back from sorting herself. Exciting times. I was just saying a minute ago that we've not done this coach trip, but we've done volcano coach trips before, so hopefully Tenerife. We like these islands. It's nice to get out and explore, but come along with us and we will see where the day takes us.
Good morning to everybody. My name is Michael. I'll be the guide. I'll be your guide for the Short South Tour. And I am from Lanzarote, even if my name doesn't sound very Spanish. I know I'm from here. I'll be telling you about the places where we are going, but if you want to know more, please ask me, yes, and I'll try to help you. And here next to me, I introduce you the most important person on the bus. We are in his hands. His name is Piñano. That's not even easy to pronounce it in the Spanish, okay? Piñano. And if Piñano is not careful today, we will appear on the news at 9 o'clock because we have some snaky, narrow roads. Of course, the idea is not you to be frightened, you to enjoy all the landscapes where we are going. And Piñano is driving bus number 1. Please keep the seats you have now for the whole tour. Some of you, and I've told you at the bus stop where at the pickup point, you are doing a different tour. It's the other one, it's the Grand Tour. And as I told you, when we get to the village of Yaiza, I will ask you to change to another bus, and then you will be with your guide Antonio for the whole day. Yaiza is the name of a village that is really close to the first visits of any of the different tours. And the company First Minute Travel, what they do when they send a double-decker down to Playa Blanca, they can, like pick up 2 different tours and then organize everything there at the village of Yaiza. That, as I say, is really close to the tour. Today is about the most important eruptions that have taken place in the history of the Canary Islands. These are volcanic islands. As I will be explaining you, we've been getting plenty of eruptions, but never nothing like what happened in the south of this island a few centuries ago. It was back in the 18th century. And what we are going to do, the itinerary, we're going to enter the national park because one area has been protected as a national park in the middle of the 70s. And the first stop will be at the Camel ride area. Some of you would like to join the camel ride. It's optional because some of you don't want to. So those of you don't want to, we will already be in the national park. You can go for a walk around and stay inside the bus. And those of you that you want to, I'll tell you about everything and, well, an experience here. The camel has been part of the history of Lanzarote. I'll also tell you about this because they've been here centuries and centuries. Different, of course, different jobs. Now what they do is a touristic activity. The second stop of the tour, it will be the Fire Mountains. Fire Mountains is a place where there's high temperatures deep in the earth, and we're going to go to a point where there's heat, and we're going to do 3 demonstrations: hot hands, the entrance to hell, and then the geyser. Yes, that's all next to the famous Devil's restaurant, where they cook most of the food with that heat I'm talking to you about. Everything up there sounds like hell, like devil. Of course, it's just symbolic, yes. And then the last stop of the tour, it will be the wine region of the island. We will be going to a winery for a tasting, and we will be back then to the touristic resorts. There's more people joining us at the village of Geisa, where we are going. So some people will be getting off the bus because they are doing a different tour, the Grand Tour. But then that other bus that goes there, that arrives there, some people from there will be doing the Short South. And they will be with us for the whole tour, and then at the end of the tour the company also has some, other transport organized. I'll be in charge of that. Then the village of Geisa, where we are going, during these eruptions I was telling you about, that the tour is it was a lucky village. The lavas were getting really close to Geisa, but then an on-level hilly landscape took them down to the ocean, and the priest of the village left us the only document, the only written information we have of these eruptions, because he was one of the 4 or 5 people that knew how to read or write back in that time, in the 18th century. This, for example, one bit of the document where he wrote, and the lavas entered the seawater, and the back big columns of smoke went up to the sky. Big part of Lanzarote was totally dark, and they were poached fish floating along the coast. Tremendous, this testimony. And Geisa, really, it's the village where you are staying on holidays in the district of Geisa, in the area of Playa Blanca. So all the taxes, political decisions of this county, that will be at the village where we're going. And when you open a book guide about the island and you get to that village, you will always read that Geisa is famous because it won twice the award of being the cleanest village of the whole of Spain. In about 3 or 4 minutes we will be arriving to that village, and then, as I say, that will be the moment that some people get off the bus, some other people will take a seat, and we are then only 5 minutes away from the National Park of Timanfaya. Timanfaya has been a national park since the year 74. And the devil symbolizes the heat that is still coming from deep in the earth, like we will be able to feel in the second stop of the tour at the Fire Mountains. I'm telling you about heat, volcanoes. Please don't worry if something happens again. We are ready. We have an evacuation plan. So everybody out. The only rule is that first we get out the locals, then the visitors, and finally the bus drivers. Iñano, he's not very happy with this, but I've told him he has to take the people to the port, to the airport. Isn't that true? And what a moon landscape this one. Yes, that's what fascinates the volcanologists about Timanfaya. Everything looked as if it was 2 weeks ago. And that's because it rains 10-15 days all around the year altogether in Lanzarote, many hours of sun. Life always starts, but here goes so slowly. Insects, lizards, bird life. 6 years, 1730, 1736, 11 villages destroyed, altogether small villages, but a bit more than 400 houses. After 6 years, 1/4 of the whole island It's covered with all the materials that you see, and that will be 200 square kilometers. The surface of Lanzarote was increased considerably because of the tongues of lava reaching the coast. We are not only talking about, with the big difference, the most important eruption in the Canary Islands in historical times. They are catalogued as an extraordinary case in the world. I cannot say unique, but in not many places you find eruptions lasting years. Now, first stop, because we're going to get there in no time, and I talk about that, and then camel ride. Sounds a bit strange if you think about it, a camel ride in the middle of a national park. This happens here because they used to come here, few families with a few camels for a few holiday makers, and when everything became to be protected, they said, what about us? So they left them, they allowed them to continue. There's a track over there on your left. Every morning they walk them, they get to the place 9 o'clock. When we get there will be 100 camels, and they are in rows of 7. Every 7 camels there's an owner, a license, an insurance. They have to share all the work, sharing all the work. Each camel is doing 4 rides a day with 2 people on top. Each ride lasts 20-25 minutes. The camel is a very strong animal. Great views, slowly, and experience. Those of you that you don't want to ride a camel, you can go for a walk around. You can stay inside the bus, but please be back to the coach, yes, by 11:15. Now, those of you want to join camel ride, it's important you go now, because this way you all come back at the same time. We're a group, we're following itinerary, they know, so they will set you on the same routes of camel. As I say, you pay now to the man, tell you where they are. Please, when you finish the ride, come back directly, yes, to the bus. I remind
Helen. Keep going. Go for the camel run.
Nadan por aquí.
You're that side.
Nadan por aquí.
Me?
No, tú no. Tú aquí. Nadan por aquí. Un momento. ¿Eh? Sí. Sí, me toca a mí. Un momento, un momento. Tique.
Sorry.
Tique.
Sure.
Esto. Eso está por fuera, mételo por dentro. Dame, tique.
Kick it.
Vamos a ponerlo para adentro. Dos personas lidiando para aquí para adelante. No, mándame lo peor, manda livianitas para adelante.
There you go.
No. Para.
You had the ticket. Helen. Just get up. You alright?
At least this will be an experience for you.
It's more scared of you. Hello. You tell her. She's just scared.
Milky Way.
Oh, it's coming to say hello. It's coming to say hello. It's got an itch. It's got an itch. It's got an itch. It's got an itch. Have you got it? Have you sorted your itch out? What can I do? There you go. Are you alive now? No. Just have an itch. There you go. He said thank you. Yeah. Scared.
Hello.
Just yelled. There you go. We're all getting up. Look, you're up now. Nice way to- Good. Okay. This camel really fast. Yeah. Camel. Maybe if it was landing. See? I don't know if the wind's going to be a nightmare with this, but yeah. But the comical moments usually.
remainings of the bus that Piñano was driving last week. But he survived. Well, slightly. But was left the glass eye, and I better shut up my mouth because if I start talking about his wooden leg, you don't want to know. And the people, they arrive here to the Fire Mountains, this place, and they come with a private car or with a taxi. When they get to the top, they can feel the heat like we are going to do, but then it becomes the moment to do the crater tour. Probably from the Camel right area, you've seen some of the buses at the top. That's the crater track. That actually can only be done with buses. So they have a bus service at the top, the people with cars or taxis, and we will do it with our own vehicle, with this double-decker. Just 1 minute, please. I'm going to ask here for the entrance. If there's tremors, that means there's magma coming from deep in the earth, looking for the way out. Will move rocks, and as it gets close, the tremors will be more often and with more intensity. Finally, if the magma reaches the surface, there will be an earthquake. We are lucky in the case of the Canary Islands because in another volcanic places they are dangerous. The earthquakes here, they are not dangerous for people because the maximum intensity is in between 4 up to 4.5 in the scale of Richter. Anyway, there will be enough power to open a fissure in the earth, and out of that fissure, normally one volcano will come out, but it can also happen that the fissure can be longer, like a sieve. So then 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10 volcanoes will come out, lining up, spitting all the materials you see. These are medium-sized volcanoes if we compare them to Vesuvius or to Etna, and they only leave once, 1 month, few days up or down, but then bye-bye forever. So when 2 or 3 were dying after a month of life, another 4 will come out, then another 1, and at the end of the 6 years, we count that 108 volcanoes were active. The materials that can come out during an eruption can be the loose materials. We start with the smallest, the ashes. Then rocks of different sizes, up to the biggest ones, known as boulders or the volcanic bombs, because of the roundish shape they get when they fly like a ball of fire. And those are the loose materials. The non-loose materials basically will be the lavas. There's 2 types of lava. The one that moves fluid, liquefied, fast. So then, when it solidifies, it looks removed, with peaks coming out and inaccessible. The other lava moves dense, smooth, slowly. So when it solidifies, it creates nearly flat surfaces. You are going to see all these materials during the visit to Timanfaya. And when you see Piñano doing this, I'm sure that some of you are thinking, good that at the end we didn't rent the car. Yes. And we are arriving to a place. I tell you what happens where we're going. 5 kilometers deep in the earth, there's magma that couldn't reach the surface. On its way up, must have found big rocks that solidified, blocking like a natural barrier. So we can say the magma has been trapped all the time at that depth since the eruptions ended, and is constantly losing heat. There isn't heat all over the place. The heat needs exits, holes in between rocks, fissures, and I'm going to take you to some of those points. So then this is nothing to do with the live volcano waiting to be active, where everything will end with a new eruption. Really here, what will happen is that one day it will lose all the heat. That will not happen in less than 300 years, and they call this a remaining heat from the eruption. So 3 demonstrations, hot hands, the entrance to hell, and then the geyser. And in the entrance to hell is a hole, and it's the hottest. That's why we call it that way. To make the tour more exciting, I will sacrifice 1 person of the group. We organize a quick wheel for the person being sacrificed, and the rest of you can take pictures as he's falling. And I know what some of you are thinking, but if you want to get rid of a husband or a wife, you have to pay. We can talk about it. This week also we have a special offer. It's the week of the mother-in-law, 2 for 1. And when we are doing the 3rd demonstration, the geyser, one of the workers of the national park will tell me at what time our bus will go in to do the crater tour, which is that road you see there right inside. That's one of the brown buses, the people with cars and capacity they have.